Hi everyone. In the previous session we discussed about IRGP routing protocol and also about EIRGP routing protocol and its fundament. And in today's session we discuss about the border gateway routing protocol, and before getting introduced to this session we'll look around the agenda. We are going to discuss about it, and in the first session we are going to have a proper introduction about the border gateway routing protocol, followed by the peering routing concepts and its procedures, and followed by that is the BGP sessions, and also about the types of BGP messages, and also about the routing process involved in this border gateway routing protocol, and also we'll look about the limitations and the drawbacks of this protocol. And now we'll have an introduction about the border gateway routing protocol, and this is a very important routing protocol that makes the inter-networking work, and this has been completely replaced by the exterior gateway routing protocol, and to make the decisions and also to make it out a decentralized process in routing. And this is an exterior gateway routing protocol, and this is otherwise classified to be as a path vector routing protocol also. And this routing protocol is specifically designed to route the information or to gather the routing information between the autonomous systems in the network. And this routing protocol also makes the decision policies and the routing decision policies based on the path, based on the network policies, and also based on the rule sets that are configured by the network administrators. And now we'll look into the concepts of BGP peering, and here the BGP peering or the neighbors are called as the peers, and they are established by the manual configuration between the routers, and they are meant to create the TCP session on a particular port. And every BGP speaker is allowed to send a 19K byte of information of keep alive messages to make the connection alive always. And if a BGP runs between any two peers in the same autonomous system, it is called as the internal BGP, and if the same BGP runs between two different autonomous systems, it is called as the external BGPs. Now the peer comes out in two levels. One is called as a peer, another one is called as a client. If a peer network is allowed to carry a traffic of a peer without charging for it, is called as a peer concept of level in routing process. And now we'll look into the types of the BGP sessions, and before getting into the types of the sessions, we'll just now get an intro to the border edge routers. So these are the routers on the boundary of one autonomous system and trying to exchange information to another autonomous systems, wherein they are typically connected to each other, while the internal BGP is trying to interconnect with the other intermediary routers. And the main difference between the internal BGP and the external BGP peering is that the way the routers receive the information from the peers are automatically propagated to the other peers. And to overcome these sort of issues in the peering concept is that the three areas has to be updated. The one is the routing update processing, the other one is handling of the routing attributes involved in routing, and the third one is the connectivity requirements, wherein the keep alive messages needs to be updated for every 60 seconds. Now we discuss about the BGP messages. There are four different types of messages in this BGP. The one is the open message, the update message, the keep alive messages, and the notification messages. Each of these messages plays its vital role in setting up, in maintaining, and tearing down the BGP peering sessions. These four messages cannot be exchanged between any two BGP routers until and or a TCP link or a session is created on the port. Suppose in case if there is any link or error that is propagated between the TCP link, automatically a notification message is triggered wherein the complete session of the connection is closed. Now we discuss about the BGP routing process. Most of the routing protocols receive the routing information that is meant to build and maintain the routing table, and that is shared via among the routers in the networking. And now we discuss about the flow of this routing process. Upon receiving the routes, there is a new type of input policies that is being framed, and these output of these input policies are given as an input to the decision making tables, wherein the decision new policies or the decision making table helps out in filtering all the path based on the path attributes and helps in finding the absolute path that is meant for routing. The routing table, the output of the routing table is given as an input to the output policies, wherein the output policies helps in defining or advertising the routing table to all its peer or its neighboring nodes that is meant for routing. Intelligent routing decisions are made within the peers of the BGP based on the 6 states of the FSM, where FSM is a finite state machines. The 6 states of the FSM are as follows. The first one is the idle state, the second one is the connect state, the third one is the active state, the fourth one is the open sent, and the fifth one is the open conform, and the last state is the establishment state. For each peer-to-peer in a BGP, the BGP uses a state variable that is meant to track the 6 states in which the particular session is in. The BGP also uses or defines the messages so that every router is meant to note in which state a particular session is in, and also this message is helped to interchange the state from one state to another state. The first state is the idle state, where the BGP initializes all the resources as well as it makes the TCP connection to be in an active state. The second state is called the connect state, wherein the router waits for the TCP connection to get completed and so that it can get transmitted to an open start state. Suppose if it is an unsuccessful TCP connection, it automatically uses the connect retrieve timer so that it transmits to an active state. In the active state, the router sends or resets the connect retrieve timer to 0 and actually resets to the connect state. The next state is called as the open send state. The open send state is meant to open the messages to all the peer routing messages or the routers so that it can wait for one or more messages and it can get transmitted to an open conform state. The next state we call here to be as an keep alive messages, wherein the keep alive messages are sent between the routers. Upon receiving a successful receipt, the transition to the next state, that is the establishment state, is put into active. In the establishment state, the routers can send and receive all the messages of keep alive, update and notification messages between the peers that are get connected in the networking. With a lot of benefits and the importance of this BGP routing protocol, there are some major drawbacks and the limitations of this too. The major drawback of this protocol is that the internal BGP scalability is not possible, where the internal growth of this BGP is limited to it. The second point is all about the instability of the route. The instability of this routing is caused because of the route flapping, and the major solution to this route flapping is about the flap dumping. The next drawback is all about the loading, balancing and as well as the security issues into it. And there is another drawback of this BGP routing protocol is that the routing table, the growth is limited to it. We have come to the end of the session. Hope everybody understood the concepts of BGP routing protocol In this session, we discussed about the BGP peering groups and also about the BGP sessions, the messages and the routing process, as well as we discussed about the drawbacks of the BGP. And in the forthcoming session, we are going to discuss about IP multicasting over IPv6. Thank you.